Yeah. Hello and welcome to this game cast on Urban Frontlines between funny game mechanics played by 6YA and no, wrong way around. You get what I mean. And Eugene broke the game played by 79Y. I did it again. So let's get the deployment and then we'll get on with the game. So Urban Frontlines, new map. I think blue has the better side because it's easier to attack Foxtrot. You just put guys in here and move them in than it is to attack Echo or Bravo. Having said that, if red comes down here, they can get to Alpha quite easily, whereas it's quite rare to see blue go for India, although it's probably reasonably easy to take if you put some heavy stuff here. Yeah, you can just have it back here, and then you can just walk across this field backed up by a tank or something, kill these two buildings, these three buildings, whatever, or come in on this side. So yeah, I think blue's got the better side. So looking at the deployments, got funny game mechanics playing 6YA. Going hard on Charlie with two spec scrub at A. These are special forces, false flag units. They've also got SVDs. DMRs are broken right now. They do over 500 suppression a minute. So yeah, getting two SVDs out there at the start is smart. Although I'm surprised he's gone for this building. I guess he intends to move up to here. You'd really want the SVDs in these two. He's put a regular Razvedka in there. I'm not sure what the point of that is. Maybe he had 35 points left over, but that's a four-man team, so not too sure. And then, okay, this looks pretty funny. So Conquer's going to here. This is a good spot because you can shoot all the way down that road. Two ZPU4s. Oh no, these are the bad ones, right? These are the bicycles, right? Yeah. These ones are a lot worse than the other ones. The ZSU something, which has got two big guns, whereas this is like 40 millimeters. We'll see how it goes, but I don't think they're going to do particularly well. But they are cheaper. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Vopos, all coming with SPWHs. So massive Vopos attack on the middle, backed up by some cheapo anti-air and a Conkers. And yes, I remember now. Sticky selection is enabled by default whenever you load a replay. Normal Razvedka going to here. That's smart. Get good views on there. We should see, yes, one going to the other place for the opponent. BRDM2 Conkers going all the way around over here. Make sure nobody sneaks through. And Mort Schutzen, Conkers for here. BRDM2 Conkers here. It's an interesting place to put one. And a Motor Strelky and a BMP1 there. So I'm not too sure about this side. Like, I guess you really don't want people to come around the side, but okay. I mean, it's a big investment at the start that could be used a bit more offensively. And then on the right, we've got two Mott Schutzen in cars. BRDM2 Conkers going to here. I guess that can cover this road. And an RKHM going to Bravo Alpha, whereas this one's going Delta Echo. Switching to his opponent's deployment, we've got Eugene broke the game. And this is Razvedka going to here. Decent spot. Two BMP2s going to here. I mean, honestly, I think 79Y. Well, 79Y's definitely got the worst infantry, so he's going to have a tough time. Two BMP2s going to here. So that's a lot of guys going to defend an objective. He opened MI-24P. Okay. And there's a T-80BV coming down this road. Should deal with the Vopos vehicles, the SPWs. A Conker's going to here. So that's a shame it's been mispathed. Conker's going all the way out to here, so that's a pretty good spot. The grain silo you can see quite far. Farmers can see further than atheists, so this is how far a farmer can see, and this is how far like an atheist can see. Or like there's some atheists like over here, right? So they can't see very far, but the farmer can see pretty far. So yeah, quite a lot of units going over there, and then mid, he's going to struggle a bit with not enough infantry. So Peri RPO, a Katsia, which I don't think is a good idea. I think a Grad is a much better purchase on this map, and I wouldn't be open on artillery anyway, because you can buy the Katsia in the first tip. Basically, let's talk about this. For the first couple minutes, for the first minute at least, you're not going to have a target for this because everybody's moving. So after a minute, you can buy it and start using it if you really want artillery. But all you've done here is just deprived yourself of a bunch of two frontline units, right? Because you could have got 2 more BMP2s, which are going to be way more useful than this Acacia. But yeah, the BMP2s are going in. So we'll cast the game, and we'll do it from this perspective. So they're off, and it's time for me to thank the generous channel members. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos early, they get members exclusive videos. If they fill out the survey that I sent a post to them about, that most of them are still not filling out, when Hearst Hero comes out on Steam, they will get a free copy. But they gotta fill out the survey. Don't fill it out if you're not a channel member. Basically, great way to support the channel. If you don't want to do that, please like the videos, please comment on the videos. I ask every time because it matters every time. The more people like a video, the more people comment on a video, and the more people watch a video, the more people it gets recommended to. It's sort of a self-fulfilling cycle, right? So we got this MI-24P coming in here, and should get some decent kills. Oh, he's right-clicked. So this is a really... You don't want to do that at all. You just want to stop in place, because now he's just flying way over the enemy and accomplishing nothing. And now he's going backwards, and he wasted all that time. And here comes an ASF, and down he goes. So should have just sat here and shot things, and then when he saw the ASF landed... So that was really, really, really bad for Eugene. Broke the game. I can't blame Eugene for that one, I'm afraid. So he buys a Cub. So he's looking pretty thin on the ground here. He's bought an Acacia. As we described, the Acacia hasn't fired in 2 minutes because he doesn't even know who to shoot it at. This would be a good first target. See that shooting now. And then he's bought a Cub. And, you know, he could have had 3 extra BMP2s here. Imagine that. Or 2 at the start and then an extra one instead of the Cub. So here come the BMP2s, and they should make short work of the Vopos, but there's actually no recon here apart from this Spetsnaz Gru. So it's not great for him. He is beginning to take things out, get kills there, but he's taken quite a defensive posture here. The Acacia has begun firing, and you'll notice that he also didn't have a CV. So... a bit of an air spam going on. Funny game mechanics bringing in the MiG-21 cluster to kill the T-80BV. It's probably going to die. Can't really see that surviving. And down it goes. And that is a problem for funny game mechanics because that was another 260 points, which should have been 2 more BMP2s. So imagine if there were 6 more BMP2s here. This fight would look very, very, very differently. But instead... Yeah, I mean, the tank might have been useful, but I don't know. Anyway, BMP2's going down to Conkers, and just generally Mott shots and beat Motorstrokey. Cost a little bit more, but they've got 2 more MGs. They've got 2 MGs instead of 1, and it's a 7.62, which makes it better. And they have this Resolute trait, which gives them less suppression in combat. So Eugene is having a very tough time here, and he's got a lot of units here not doing anything. His Acacia's not shooting. He spent all that money on Acacia. And this is looking pretty convincing for funny game mechanics. He's taking a lot of zones. Nothing's really happening here. Eugene's got his first CV. It's just going to sit in golf for now. He should really be attacking here. If, you know, he's got all those units. He's not attacking. All that fire support. Because he sees how much is in the middle. This Cub will one-shot MiG-21 Bisons. They only have 8 HP, whereas this deals 9 damage. You always want to bring it with a supply because it's only got 3 rounds, so it runs out really fast. This, I'm not sure what it was going for. Might have been this guy, because the LOS tool's an approximation. And Eugene, he's forced to fall back. He's forced to fall back, and he's very behind on points. Very behind on points, so it's not looking great for Eugene at all. I'm not sure what this is going to shoot at. But yeah, it can't defend itself against the Vopos and the SPW, so this is probably dead now. He needs to move this over. Vopos don't have AT, so if he had this BMP2 over here, it would kill all this, but instead he's going to lose it. And, okay, so he's remembered this now, but now he's got SPWs in his back line, which is really bad. They can shoot armoured vehicles if they're close enough. funny game mechanics isn't exploiting this big hole here. It's always worth, if you're on the blue side, trying to move up into this. At the very least, it'll force your opponent to just stack loads of guys here, which will then help you take mid. And if you've already taken mid, you might as well go for it. These Vopos have security, which means that when they're stood still, their optics goes up by 1, so it goes from normal to good. So he's put it in there, and it's like a pseudo recon. It's given a lot of vision there. So BRDM2 going Hotel India should start to stop the tick, but at the end of the day, Blue's going to be on this +1 because he's got mid. And so he's buying some artillery, he's getting some Lustrum Jaeger Metis, so this is a really good unit. This is a really good unit, but you don't want to start with it. Because it comes in a very expensive transport, 45 points for nothing, basically. Wow, a Helo. It's good in team games, Helos, but in 1v1, usually it's not worth it. So this SBW can kill this BRDM, and he now knows this is free, and he can start moving up these Mortschutzen, moving up the Vopos and stuff like that. But yeah, funny game mechanics seems intent on, you know, he could move up here, basically, and he's not doing that. Just content to build up, start buying the tanks, get the T-64Bs in. You can buy these at a rate of 1 a minute, because it's 245. And you get 260 points in a minute. Just a shame from Eugene broke the game. Like, he could have easily taken this zone. There's 1 unit there. But he just didn't. Like, he put all these units here and then he didn't push with them. Just sort of a big waste of time. And also he's not capped Foxtrot. Now he's just got a CV going over there. So I'm not sure how many games this guy has. But yeah, the reason you don't want to duel a... that must have done a partial miss there, because that would have one-shot that. The reason you don't want to duel a tank ATGM is because he can survive a hit and you can't. But yeah, this must have been a partial miss. Because a dead on 1 would just kill it. So artillery purchased, and apparently the cub has been spotted, probably from this building. One of these buildings. Interesting. So we'll see if that kills it. Probably won't, given that it's only 1. Depends how fast Eugene wakes up. Right, so now he's got to move. He's not noticed. He's dead. Yes. This fight is 4 rounds and he's just not reacting, so he's probably going to lose it. Oh no, he might get lucky. No, he doesn't. So he's bought a second one. Tunguska's being purchased here. Yeah, I would get some Iglas as well for this kind of attack. Can't remember if 6YA gets Iglas. I think they do. I think it's not just Strellas. So, funny game mechanics, you know, he had an opportunity here, but he sort of lost it. He could have, you know, got some more guys in here and taken that. But instead he did not. So, +2 for now. Here we go. Eugene is finally attacking, but he's not brought up his fire support. He's just letting his infantry do it by themselves. And once you start attacking here, you've not got much time. The BMP2 you would expect to beat the BMP1, but that was just pure skill issue, I guess. Bundle of sticks there taking the day, beating them with the Grom. Anyway, this is a very bad attack. You want to have your fire support with it. Basically, as soon as you start attacking, the enemy's going to start pumping reinforcements in. So when you attack, you want to do it all at once instead of a little bit at a time. And here we go. Blue has figured out that he can just drive in here. So it's looking pretty one-sided at the moment. I mean, +3 for funny game mechanics. Red is trying to get in here. He's brought a cub. He's not sending the CV. But it looks like he will take that, which will put him on a +1 if he fully takes it. And then if he takes this... So something doesn't seem right. Why is it only +3 if he's got 2 zones? They're all +1s, right? 1, 2, 3 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Yeah, so 6YA is definitely the better pick on this map. They've just got better infantry. And 79Y's got loads of tanks, which you don't really need on this map. I mean, Eugene is playing by his strengths. He's gone for the open, which is where he is strongest. Would love to see a BMP2 on this road, because then it shoots anybody coming across the road. I do like the use of the ZPU-4. You see it does do decent infantry fire support. And looks like Amostroki got the CV there. But yeah, Red's just getting rinsed. Like, he's buying artillery and he really shouldn't be. This is a bit presumptuous. You want to sort of support these attacks, or at least send something first. Like this Mottschützen, or even this SPW. Instead of just driving in. But he's going to get away with it. And the MiG-21 Bison cluster went too deep there and got one shot by a Cub. I guess he assumed the Cub was dead because he blew it up with one up with artillery back here. You can see that there. But there was in fact another one. But yeah, looking at it from this side, you can see how many more units Blue has. He's doing a really good job there. And that was smart, getting out of the Metis range. He needs to get the Razvedka to the house, yeah, and then he can see him properly. Not sure what's going to happen here. Is he going to unload it? No, he's just going to lose it. So, this will actually survive. The full HP one would have survived one shot, basically. Which you should now see. No, maybe not. So you can duel these, because look, it missed again. It's 17 AP heat, which means it can one-shot 3 armor vehicles, and this has 4 armor. Hopefully he hits this time. See, I was right. He does rout, however. But yeah, this BMP-2 should really be shooting as well. I do like pulling the BRDM-2s there back, and I like the T-64 on the flank, providing support. This is probably going to die to T-64s. No, it's smoked and backed. Lots of BMP-2s dying. He's moving it. He's still in range. Just about. Okay. And yeah, so Red needs a couple more units here, really, because that is going to die eventually. And eventually. And the Acacia purchase is really weird, man. I mean, you get 2 grads in 79. Why you get a card of grads which has 2 grads in it? And that would just be a much smarter idea. I'm not sure what happened to the car that was in here, because there was a car in here, now there isn't. And oh, this has lost a round, so this killed it. And that's why it was only neutralized. So it's still +2 for Blue, looking really good for Blue. Red's managed to sort this out, and if he takes it, then it will be even. And if he takes this, it'll be +1. And if he takes this, Red will actually be on a +1. So he does need to get over there. Yeah. Not sure where are Blue's points going. Okay, so he's buying BMP-1s, which I wouldn't... He probably doesn't have a choice, actually. Most of 6YA's infantry come in BMP-1s, but I'd be getting all those Lufstrom Yetis Major, Lufstrom Metis Jaeger out, and I would be using those. Get all of them out as fast as possible, because they're your town fighting infantry and stuff, and I'd be just pouring guys into here. So the SU-25, you don't really see it very often because it's not very good. It's had a lot of nerfs. It's only got 5% ECM, and then now it's dead. So that's why you don't see it very often. And down it goes. And yeah, Eugene, he's doing a sort of good job, like, pushing these out. I mean, he needs to smoke Strokey on the edge. I guess he doesn't know about this. Can't do too much to hurt him. And Red's actually on a +1 now, and I do wonder how that happened, given Blue's super commanding lead. He's just got a lot of units here, not really doing anything. He needs to be keeping the pressure up. Needs to, like, put Conquerors in this building, for example, would be great. You can see down that road. He did have one in this building, but I guess it died. Or it was this one and it moved. Could move that up to here. Stuff like that, you know. 5-2 going on the Cub again. Eugene, will he react in time? Doesn't look like it. Although this time I think it's going to miss. Yeah. He's too busy buying a cluster and using Acacias on T-64 BBs while trying to cluster them. So you typically don't want your artillery on your target that your plane's going to kill. But that was a kind of odd play from funny game mechanics there. He could have waited for it to drop and then fast path down the road and he would have been fine. These are quite slow tanks, but basically it bombs in a big long line, so you just go backwards, then go forwards, or go forwards, then go backwards, and the targeting will try and predict where you're going to land, and it should miss, and you should be alright. But there he just sort of reversed into it and died. It does happen. So blue squeezing this again. I really like having this here. He needs a bit of recon though. And really the infantry should be going first because that BMP-1 is now very dead. Down it goes. This smoke stroke he needs to pull back a little bit now because he can't beat this tank, for example. But yeah, lots of BMP-1s here, and I'm just like, what happened to... So red basically just bought planes for 3 minutes. Like 1 T-80 BV here, none of this happens. It looks like blue's going to get back in. So just buying too many planes here for red. Needed a bit more ground. It's easy to say, but like even like look at all these units just sat here not doing anything. All these units literally not doing anything. Could have just sent all these over here. You know, they can move, right? Yeah, additional conkers being bought for mid. Can't see red getting back in mid. Looks like blue's taking alpha back. So, yeah, this conkers can't hold against all that. Razvedka trying to... Yeah, it's just not going to work, basically. Not sure what's going on there. I guess a BMP-2 got killed, yes, okay. And then the conkers is counter-attacking. The Katsia's opening up on that conkers. Dat conkers. And funny game mechanics, he's coming in here now, but he's probably going to die to this. He might actually be able to cap it, but no, I think he's just dead, right? Yeah. It might have survived and got in, neutralized it, and then died. So I should have said neutralize instead of cap it, but that's what I meant, you could just believe me. But yeah, it's looking very intimidating here, and red's just got a lot of guys standing around not doing anything. I mean, look at all these tanks and stuff. Imagine if all these were over here. Blue never would have been able to take it. But celery, as they say, celery sticks. And I do wonder what red's going to do now. I mean, it just kind of looks like blue's going to be on a +1. So books being purchased now. It's a good idea to get the books up at some point. No MiG-31. We've not seen any MiG-31 yet, and this thing's really good. So I really don't understand why this is in his deck. Because this is the same caliber as this, except this, for some reason, the D20 deals slightly more damage, but this has a much higher fire rate. It is twice as much, though. But yeah, I just bring 2 of these at 1 vet. Take advantage of that aim. So the Conker's getting bullied a bit there. The Katsia's trying to shoot. So I guess you can see that because of this. But yeah, red needs to try and push with infantry first, instead of just moving with everything and then the vehicles get there first. Thing is, like, funny game, he's not got enough RPGs. There should really be RPG infantry here, because the Vopos do not have RPGs. The Conkers is great and all, but yeah. So I guess that's trying to cover the road. It's kind of weird. You can shoot down there when it says it can't. Weird. Over here, blue has successfully taken that back, and I can't see red getting back in there now, so blue back to a +1. And Katsu's shooting, might get the Conkers. Yeah, really good Conkers positioning. Like, I would have one in this house, this block of flats. Like, once you've taken that, you really do need a recon in there, because it just gives you ability to see across here and shoot across here, just stop red from getting back in. But yeah, these Akatsias can be used to kill the ATGMs, but which is really what he should be going for. Okay, he's doing that now. And yeah, like, where's the recon? Just can't see anything. Also, he's bringing his T-80 BVs at no vet, so they're just routing straight away. As you can see, this could have been in the fight for much longer, but this thing missed it twice. It routed. Really want these at 1 vet. You always want your tanks at least 1 vet. Akatia might kill that, might miss. It's very hit and miss with this artillery. There's no consistency to it at all. Either you land right on him and kill him, or you miss a little bit and do nothing. So there you go, he got him. And Red's big blob attack is sort of working out. This was from before, so he's not bought that. That's just off cooldown. And, okay, so now, funny game mechanics. Yes, he does the funny thing. Okay, but he didn't do it fast enough, I suppose. I mean, it's quite a slow tank. So he loses 1 and almost loses a 2nd. The Cubs don't have supply with them, so this guy is probably going to make it out. This was on attack move, so as soon as he left range, it started moving again, rather than still trying to shoot for 2 seconds. And I just really don't understand Red's reluctance to buy MLRS. It is so useful on this map. But it is what it is. So this is probably another one of those planes from before. He should be targeting the AA. He's not actually got an attack order on here. He's just right-clicked. Okay, there we go. Maybe it'll drop. No, it doesn't, because it turns like a brick. And now it's dead. No, it might survive. Might survive. Okay. It's a shame he could have killed this. He was paying attention. But yeah, Red is somehow winning. For all my complaining, Red is actually taking the zone back. And yeah, really, you want the infantry going first, because this thing is just so dead. Even if it had survived this, as soon as it got up to here, this guy would have just blown it up. 18 pen, enough to one-shot a 4-armor vehicle. Here we go, rocket planes brought out, and there's no Shorad here. You'd have to move up the Tunguska, which you don't really want to be doing. You need Iglas. You really need Iglas for something like this. So Red made a lot of progress there, killed a lot of things, but did not manage to get in the zone. Did not manage to get in the zone. Now he's going to lose a bunch of infantry to the Mi-8 rockets. So over here, between motor jockeys, this one's going to lose because it's not in a building. Buildings give you massive cover reduction. And yeah, just lots of Red infantry dying now to rockets. He's just running into the rockets and dying. He's brought up the Tunguska though, which is smart. Maybe he'll get this one. No, he doesn't. He's blocked, so he loses the cluster plane, but it got far more than it costs. It costs 210. One of these is 265, and the BMP2s are 60. Yeah, there you go. So that was a big point swing for blue. Needs to get his artillery on that enemy AA position. It just fired and it's not moving, so he should go for it. Maybe this BMP2 will swing the fight, but it's low cohesion. Or mediocre is red. Mediocre cohesion is red. We did ask them to change that, but I think it was kind of like, how do I put this? Like a pride thing. It's obviously just bad that it's like that, but they don't want to admit that it was better before and that they made a mistake. It's just going to stay like that. Using the artillery to assist the tank fights is smart. Needs to smoke this really, or it's going to die. As we discussed, this wins, and then it vanishes, and this guy was just on an attack move, so he's just going to walk into it and might get blown up by an RPG. Might not. Okay. What a weird fight. Anyway, still no Shorad here except the Tunguska. Eugene doing his best to try and get this Tunguska shooting. But yeah, neither time has he managed to actually kill these. Counter battery coming in on the Giant S. I honestly view it as a waste of time. If you've got 2 MLRSs you can counter battery, like look, these have clearly been hit by something and they're just fine. So you want to use it against the infantry. And yeah, these guys are just sort of driving in and dying to this one guy. They'll get some stabilizer shots off though. They might actually kill him. Oh, here we go. Yeah, he's probably going to die now. This BRDM2 conquers a lot of value out of it. You'll notice there's just no recon here. I don't think Red has a single recon unit in the whole map. Look. Oh yeah, there's one. There's one. He's got one there. But yeah, it's quite a common thing. that newer players do is that they buy recon at the start and then they just completely forget about it. And the thing is, the recon's the first thing to die because it's at the front. So it's you always need to refresh your recon. So SC25 coming in here should get that. Not sure Funny Game Mechanics is paying attention. Don't think he is. No, he's not. Down it goes. Could gun run this? Okay, never mind. And the book from across the field sends this guy packing. So red trying to move in, needs to stick to the buildings really and let the fire support do the heavy lifting, which it is doing, right? And he's brought a helicopter of his own and he's just attack moved it straight in again. Lustrum Jaeger Metis are pretty good. But yeah, red's big red blob is blobbing readily. Yeah, Tunguska for the other side here is definitely going to kill that thing. And I do wonder if this is actually going to make it in. I'm also not sure why he's putting it right in the middle instead of in a corner behind something. But it seems to be working for him. This didn't die before, if you recall. It looks like the second one did die. But yeah, just only one Tunguska is... you see, this is now low cohesion because of the rockets, and now it's stunned and everything, and now it's just going to lose. So he's got to smoke it. And he does actually manage to get the smoke off. MiG-21 is probably just going to die now. This cub is out of ammo. There's a supply right next to it. This cub is out of ammo. There's a supply right there, but not sure. Okay. I guess that was very worth, actually. You might lose it, but yeah, it's probably not worth. But this is why you need Iglas, because otherwise you're driving your Tunguskas forwards, and they just, then they're dying like that, and they cost 110 points. So this is a good place to have a T-64 BV. And yeah, this T-80B is going to lose that fight because he's low cohesion. So even though they both fire at the same rate because they're auto-loaded, I was expecting it to miss, but it didn't. Should have missed. So the BMP-2s just keep dying to ATGMs because there's no recon, so they don't see them. It's hard at the best of times. There were two infantry, there were a motor stroking and BMP-2 here, and they've gone. Not sure where. Maybe they went into mid, which would make sense. It's smart to do that. But red has taken the zone, and now what he needs to do is buy some ATGMs, put them in these buildings, and stop pushing. He needs to stop pushing, because what is he accomplishing by continuing to grind himself out? He's on a +1 now with 12 minutes left. I don't think that's enough. I think he would need more. But what a turnaround. I thought red had lost basically immediately, but I don't even know what happened, because it just kind of looked like nothing was going on. Somehow, Palpatine survived. And, the Akatsias, he's down to one Akatsia now. I guess the other one got counter-batteried. Because, yeah, he's not been healing them, and he's not been moving them, so this one's going to die now as well. So, counter-battery doesn't usually work, but if your enemy doesn't move his artillery and just eats it, then yes, eventually it does work. Down it goes. So, just really surprised at 79Y's lack of grads. It would have just made everything so much easier if you had 2 grads on this. Another thing you can do is turn off cover by clicking this twice and then put it behind the building instead of just sitting there eating rounds. Let's talk about these 2 tanks. The gun is exactly the same, the ROF is exactly the same, everything is exactly the same except the armour. T-80BB's got 1 more armour, and the speed. So it's a shame because the T-64s used to carry a different ammo instead of this sort of, super ammo, which is out of time frame. But there's this guy that really wants packed to be amazing, and so he does things which are sort of actively counterproductive, but he thinks he's helping, and that was one of them, making the T-64s stat clones of the T-80BV. Because he's like, oh, a buff to T-64s. He doesn't realise that then the prices basically go up to match. They're almost identical. And then there's like less flavour. As far as he's concerned, he's helping. So what can I say? There's lots of that going around. Not the only example of that. The bundle of sticks used to do 16 pen, and that was really interesting. And then he made it 17 pen because he's like, I'm helping, and then the price of all bundles of sticks went up and the availability of all bundles of sticks went down. So it wasn't helping at all, but there you go. This cluster should really be going for that book as opposed to just constantly diving and dying. But yeah, we got some mortars out for smoke here now, and there's a lot of motor strelky here, so I think blue is going to push back in. Smart to bring the smoke because it cuts off red's fire support, which is his main asset, these BMP2s, these T80 BVs. And yeah, that obviously is going to die because buildings just give you 10 trillion more chance of winning a fight. Like a really good infantry not in a building will still lose to a bad infantry in a building, basically. It's just a bit silly. So he really needs to evac this, because if he dives with it, it's just going to get shot once now and die, because it's already lost so much HP. He's pinging that giant S. I don't know why, because he's not got any RT. You would expect the T8BV to win here. Oh, I see, there's two of them. Yeah, and then he sent the SU-24 in, and... Wow! Yeah, okay, I mean, it got quite a few guys. I don't think it paid for itself in that volley, because these two are like 15 or 25 points each or something. They used to be 15. Yeah, +1 for red. 9 minutes left. I think red needs more points if he wants to win. I don't think it'll be enough. You see how slowly it's ticking up. Blue might also get back in. So yeah, he's smoking up the corner. The counter to this is MLRS, which red hasn't brought. And yeah, also sending your infantry in can be very smart. Sending your tanks in is not so smart, because if there's a bunch of guys with RPGs behind them, it's not going to work out. So yeah, you can MLRS the smoke, or you can MLRS the smoke mortar. Either works, or you could do one of both. But looks like that ain't happening. That's probably not going to make it. Yeah. Okay. But that did get its smoke off, which I guess is the plan here. This VRDM2 is not in the zone, so I think this is just going to drive in and cap it. Okay, he's waiting for the smoke to fill, I guess. More smoke coming in. I mean, he just needs to be like 1 centimeter further forward, so there we go. So he's in the zone! And... not sure what red's going to do about that. I guess he's going to try and bomb it with an SC-24. But yeah, he needs to send the infantry in, really, not the tanks, into the smoke. And you see, this is 2 vet, this just missed, so... Okay, so that you see these 0 vet tanks, man, they're just not effective at all. And now he needs to put his CV in. The supply getting blown up is actually quite bad. Interesting. SC-24M just going for an infantry unit. It's probably just going to die. I mean, there's been no attempt to get rid of this AA. So down it goes. Just keeps losing the planes to the AA. Red taking the zone back. Interesting back and forth. I think both teams need to invest in some... If it's going to be a smoke gameplay, then I think you need more infantry. Like, these infantry right now could just move up into this building, and just start blowing all these up. See, 64 BVs losing. There are more T80 BVs. So red takes the zone back. And yes, he's now moving the infantry in. It's just strange to not see these infantry here. If they literally got into this building, they really would have done a number on all these tanks, side-shotting them and stuff. Su-25, that would be the last one to Picard. And yeah, some more rockets, and still no igloos. There's one here. That's on the wrong team. And yeah, red just content to just constantly lose planes for very little. Just keeps YOLOing his planes in. So red really needs more zones. I actually just don't think he can win. I mean, he's on a +1, but he needs more zones. I mean, whereas blue, you know, he's got loads of infantry, but it's all in the wrong place. If you've got this infantry here, you want to move up to here so you can cap that zone. You definitely don't want 3 in a house. You want to be taking these buildings. You move this up to here. Start blowing stuff up on the road. But it's all just sat here while red caps the zone. But yeah, red's superior tank numbers coming through. You see he does have some on 1-vet. So that's some on no-vet. Typically you want to buy the 1-vet ones first before the no-vet ones if you're going to do it like that. And this is a pretty scary blob hit. And yeah, this is just a waste. Right, here we go. So blue's coming in for this again now. And red should have seen this coming, really. There should be something here on this road, like a BMP2 or something. Because blue's going to get that. You should always expect that when you're on the red side, and you should always do it when you're on the blue side. It's a key problem with the map, in my opinion. I thought Mount River 1v1 was alright, but apparently it wasn't. So we're stuck with Two Lakes Duel forever and ever and ever. And, you know, all the maps have problems. Why was Loop removed? That was my favourite map. Maybe that's why it was removed, actually. Anyway, that Conquer's there, giving people a bit of grief. +1 for red. He's doing. I mean, I guess he's got to take all these if he wants to win. Blue, has he got a CV? He does, it's here. So he could get this in here. But I guess he's sort of got bigger fish to fry. At these close ranges, the tanks do more damage because they've got kinetic penetrators, so the closer they are, the more damage they do. I do like blue's tank positioning, shooting from multiple angles. Getting dem side shots, but yeah, I think his infantry position is quite weak. Like, this should really be up to here, you know. There we go, so this guy, just by virtue of sitting there, eventually got a side shot. But that Spets Group at A should really be in this high res. Give some vision, you know. And yeah, Eugene needs to reverse, man. He's just sitting there eating RPGs. And down he goes. Maybe a bit too much arty for blue. A bit too much AA. Like, he was shooting down the planes, fine. And then he bought an extra book. Well, you were already shooting down the planes. So blue doing decent here. Needs a CV in there. I guess that's what this is. Could move up, like move up. But you don't know who's in here, but you can move up these buildings and then try and, you know, by here you'd be able to see him. But yeah, red trying to make something happen. He knows he needs more points. Here we go. So why not put some infantry in there as well, as opposed to just sending the CV by itself? So I know there are 2 mot shots. Yeah, there's a lot of mot shots that come in the other way. But it is going to work. And blue's taken this. So 2 minutes left. Looks like red's going to get this zone temporarily. There's no CV here. CV tank here is in a bit of a pickle. That BRM1, yeah, especially if it's moving. It's got 5% accuracy. Just shouldn't hit anything, basically. And yeah, Eugene is driving his guy around. Funny game mechanics has got in here. Needs to put this tank down this right here, basically. Just shoot everybody coming down that road. So that will nullify this, and then it'll be back to a +1. I guess he's going to try and send this over here. I'm not sure where he's going. Oh, yeah, he's going to try and do that. It's not going to work. There's all this coming the other way. But yeah, +3 for red. It's soon to be a +1 again. But with 2 minutes left, don't think he can make up the difference. Really interesting game, though. I mean, at the start, I thought, well, that's over. But somehow blue managed to throw. I'm not sure how. I guess it's because... So he took this back, which made sense. But then he left a lot of units here. And red just built up, and there weren't enough ATGMs, defensive ATGMs in all the buildings. And yeah, red just pressed Q and clicked on the zone and eventually got it. And blue didn't have enough defensive RPGs. Like, you can put a mot shots in here, you can put it here and then turn off the cover, and if it's getting shot, you just put it behind the building, and then guys can't really come past because they're getting shot. But red was able to get away with quite a lot with his tanks. So yeah, +1 for red, but I believe that's all she wrote. I don't think there's enough time to do anything. So for the sake of 48 seconds, you see the red, he's clicked everything, he's trying to get over there. Oh, he might make it. He might make it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, he doesn't. And you see blue actually got CV in there at the end. So yeah, GG to Funny Game Mechanics, who is apparently just a player, and Eugene broke the game, who was ranked 5,342. Yeah. So yeah, interesting game. I mean, neither of these divs is particularly fantastic on this map, and I think it's good that when you press ranked, you don't know what sort of map you're going to get, and every type of map is in, or every type of map should be in. But instead, we've got a few different maps, which is cool, and not really every type of map. No really big ones. Anyways, GG. I'll see you around. Oh, I guess Black Forest.